Hey bestie, if you are feeling overwhelmed by that constant juggle of work, family, life, and that little voice in the back of your head telling you to take care of yourself, you've come to the right place. I'm Alanis, your habit tracking BFF, and you are listening to Down the Habit Hole. My mission is to help women just like you master their chaos through the power of habits. So go ahead, grab a little drinky drink, and listen up as we dive down the habit hole together and talk through productivity, burnout, decision fatigue, and everything in between. Hey, happy Monday. Welcome to a new week and a new episode of Down the Habit Hole. I am your host and favorite habit tracking BFF, Alanis.life, and I am back with you today to talk about some tried and true wellness hacks for the busy queen bee, boss babe, and all of us. Yes, I am talking about you, the girlie who's juggling a million projects, chasing those dreams, and probably neglecting some much needed self-care. So buckle up because your girl is here to share some tips and tricks to keep you feeling your most energized, focused, fabulous, best self. Let's be honest, self-care often gets pushed to the back burner or the bottom of the to-do list, which unfortunately for some of us means that we're running on fumes, stressed to the max, and maybe even forgetting to eat or breathe. But, and you may even be starting to notice this in yourself, neglecting our well-being truly does start to impact everything, our productivity, creativity, and even the quality of our sleep. So let's start by identifying some common struggles that we all sometimes face when we start to put ourselves and our wellness last. One thing you might start to notice is that your energy levels are starting to slump early in the day, and that slump starts to hit you harder than taking on a Monday morning without your favorite iced latte in hand. Or maybe you're feeling like you're just constantly on edge and that you could, and very well just might, spontaneously combust at the mere mention of the slightest inconvenience. Another thing that I personally start to notice in myself is just not being able to focus on the task at hand. I start every single day with clear intentions of what I want to get done that day, but when I'm starting to feel burnt out, I definitely notice that the screen time goes up on my iPhone and I'm spending way more time than I intend to or really even have time to, trapped in the social media scroll hole or texting my friends random pictures of my dogs. This becomes especially apparent to me at night because my mind starts to race, and next thing I know, I'm up all hours of the night trying to write down every idea or concept that I've ever thought of, or maybe even just scrolling Instagram reels until 2 a.m. and not trying to sleep at all because my self-control seems to have left the building entirely. But fear not, my friend, because obviously I'm here today to break down all the little tips and tricks that I've learned over the years and that I personally use, so I know they're legit, to stay on track and keep crushing those goals. So without further ado, let's hop into it. The first hack that I have for you is to move your body. Even if it's just a little bit here and there, I personally love to consistently get in a high-intensity cardio workout right away in the morning to kick off my day. But if that's just not written in the plans for you these days, then I know that you can at least find a few minutes to prioritize yourself and your body. Play your favorite song and have a little solo dance party, take a few minutes to stretch out your legs and maybe throw in a few yoga poses, or just take a brisk walk up and down the street real quick. Moving your body works wonders for your energy level, and I personally believe that a healthy body is a healthy mind, and a healthy mind is a healthy soul. So prioritize taking at least 10 minutes a day to take care of yourself, even if that means that the other 23 hours and 50 minutes of the day, your time and energy is elsewhere. And then number 2, I've said it before and I'll say it a bajillion more times, turn off your notifications and maybe even just turn your phone on Do Not Disturb if you can swing it. If you absolutely must, iPhone even gives you the option to personalize your Do Not Disturb settings to allow certain notifications through, but I promise you that those Instagram DMs, endless emails, and text messages will be there when you're ready to address them. I firmly believe that nothing will drain your time and energy faster than your phone going off every couple minutes when you're trying to be productive and get shit done. And the more you pick up your phone to check that DM or respond to the new comment, the more likely you are to get distracted or sidetracked, and the next thing you know, you're accidentally scrolling or trying to put out fires that just simply probably are not urgent or necessary in that moment. I promise you that the notifications can wait. Put the phone down. And while you're at it, make sure that you're taking breaks away from social media entirely in general. Schedule a few hours or maybe even a full day or two away from your phone just to enjoy the world around you and just cleanse your mind and soul a bit. Because I know that we can all agree that sometimes social media is a little draining and maybe even kind of toxic to your well-being sometimes. Your brain will thank you for this one. And then moving on to my third wellness hack for you today is to have a plan for keeping your blood sugar stable. If you've ever used the term hangry or otherwise just felt so hungry that the smallest inconvenience causes you to want to bite someone's head off, I bet you didn't know that there's actually a biological reason for this. At its most simple, high level, your metabolism obviously literally works off the nutrients in the food that you're fueling your body with. So if your blood sugars tank or drop off significantly, your metabolism actually sends a signal to your brain that something is wrong. Like, hi brain, there's something wrong here, which then triggers your brain's fight or flight response and in return releases this stress hormone called cortisol. And cortisol does help to increase your blood sugar, but it's also a steroid hormone, and simultaneously, those steroid hormones are interacting with your impulse control as well, making it really easy to feel almost like predisposed to getting upset or annoyed about situations that you may otherwise handle well enough when you're more level-headed. So all of that to say that you're welcome for the little impromptu science lesson, and that also you just need to make sure that you're scheduling in regular meal and snack breaks to 1, keep your blood sugars leveled off and stable, and 2, to keep you yourself the bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, fun-loving girly I know you are. And while you're at it, make sure that you're ditching the real sugary treats and opt in for more brain-healthy snacks like fruit or mixed nuts. I found it especially helpful to keep these things readily on hand and prepped so that I can just grab them in the moment. I do this by prepping snacks at the same time as I prep my weekly meals, so I wash and cut up all my fruit and even pre-portion out the snack sizes. And then my 4th wellness hack for you today is to, of course, keep a consistent sleep schedule and have some routines in place to help cultivate this. Regulating your sleep cycle and circadian rhythm is essential. So have a plan in place so that you can go to bed and wake up at the same time every single day, and make sure that this plan is realistic based on the lifestyle that you already live. If you regularly stay awake until 3 a.m. scrolling TikTok and you're okay with that, then I don't anticipate it being easy for you to wake up at 5 a.m. So with that being said, the times themselves really don't matter. What's important is staying consistent with the times that you choose, and obviously you should be doing your best to get enough sleep as well. The most recent studies show that the average woman needs about 9 to 10 hours of sleep per night. But I know that if you're anything like me, that's not always super doable. I personally aim for 7 hours, and I keep a very strict schedule that allows me to start getting ready for bed by 8, and then I put my phone by 9, and as long as I stick to that routine, I rarely have any problems waking up and hopping out of bed at 4 a.m. every single morning. I follow the same bedtime routine every night too, because I know that by now, the things that I do to get myself ready for bed now trigger my brain to know that it's time to wind down a little bit because it's almost time to go to sleep. My bedtime routine consists of things like washing my face, getting my clothes ready for the next day, brushing my teeth, and even though literally everyone tells you that you should put your phones and screens away for at least an hour before bed, I am guilty of usually playing a game on my phone for a few minutes too, right before I put my phone down for the night. Remember that the best routines are the kinds that you can stick to. So of course, I totally recommend putting your phones and screens away at least an hour before you go to sleep. I'm also a realist, and I think that ultimately, if it's going to come down to you setting this rule for yourself to not use your phone after 8 p.m., and then you're constantly breaking that promise to yourself anyways, then don't have the rule in the first place. Habits are all about cultivating trust and respect for yourself, and if you say you're going to do something and then you consistently don't follow through, you're just breaking that trust repeatedly and feeling bad about or putting yourself down all the time anyways. So with that being said, craft a realistic nighttime routine that you can reliably stick to, and make sure it includes some relaxing things like maybe a hot shower or a face mask to help signal to your brain that it's time to wind down and get ready for some sleepies. And then last, but certainly not least, my 5th wellness hack for you today is to start setting some healthy boundaries that protect your time and energy. Learn to politely decline requests that drain you mentally, or physically, I suppose. And prioritize only saying yes to the things in your life that help guide you to wherever you're trying to go. My mantra for this is that if it's not a hell yes, it's a hell no. Not only your goals, but also just your general overall well-being is a priority, and you should start treating it as such. So one more time, the 5 wellness hacks that we went over together today are 1, move your body in ways that make sense and feel good to you. 2, turn your phone on Do Not Disturb. 3, keep your blood sugars in check with scheduled healthy snacks and meals. 4, keep a consistent sleep schedule. And 5, start saying no to things that don't serve you or your well-being. And then just to wrap it up real quick, this would not be the Down the Habit Hole podcast if we didn't talk about some habits. So I put together some suggestions that you can add to your dream life tracker today. So first and foremost, you're going to want to head over to my website, Alanis.life, which I'll link below in the show notes for easy access because I know you're a busy lady. And then once you're there, you're going to want to grab the Dream Life Tracker Guide, which I made specially for you to help guide you into cultivating and creating the life of your literal dreams. So real quick, pause this episode and go ahead and grab that. And then once you're ready, let's move on because I have some habits that you're going to want to add onto your Dream Life Tracker today to make sure that you're not only implementing but prioritizing your wellness and self-care starting this week. All right, now that you've got your pen and your Dream Life Tracker in hand, let's move forward. The first habit that you're going to want to add onto your Dream Life Tracker is any kind of self-care act that brings you joy. It doesn't matter what it is, no one's judging here, but whatever it is, make sure that it's something that you can, again, realistically add into your life and practice regularly. Is it taking a hot bath right before bed, working out right away in the morning, meditating during your lunch break? The only rule here is that the habit must be something that you will actually enjoy adding into your life. And then the second habit that you're going to want to add onto your Dream Life Tracker is some kind of check-in with yourself to help you identify and measure the progress that you're making with your goals and aspirations. For me, I like to take a minute at the end of every day to look over my habit tracker and see what percentage I was able to check off as done for the day. But if that's not for you, maybe instead you want to do your check-in at lunch, or maybe when the evening sets in, just to give yourself some time to identify if there's anything you've missed or still want to do that day. Or maybe you're checking in each morning right when you wake up before you get out of bed, just to see how you did the day before. It doesn't matter when, it just matters that you plan for and schedule a check-in with yourself, which ties in well with the next habit that you're going to want to add to your Dream Life Tracker. And you may even want to schedule this with your check-in. And that is to find a way every single day to celebrate your wins. It doesn't matter how big or small each win is, celebrate it. You are working so hard to create a better life for yourself, and you're already on the journey to crafting a life that you're absolutely obsessed with. And that in and of itself is a reason to celebrate. So celebrate. This can be as simple as giving yourself a high five in the mirror, or maybe treating yourself to a piece of dark chocolate or a glass of wine at the end of the day. Just gift yourself the ability and love to celebrate you every single day, because I promise you, friend, you deserve it. All right, bestie, that's all I've got for you today. But if you've loved this episode, please make sure to rate it 5 stars and leave a written review wherever you listen, because kindness spreads and your words help shows just like this one get into the ears of new friends around the world who may have needed this episode just as much as you did. And as always, until next time, you have the ability to change your habits and change your life. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Down the Habit Hole with me, Alanis Van Duzer. Remember, you're not alone in this journey to balancing your chaos. Join me over on Instagram at Down the Habit Hole Pod. And don't be shy, slide into my DMs. I'd love to hear your thoughts on today's episode, answer your burning questions, or even just have a little chat. Plus, if you share this episode on your Instagram story and tag me at Down the Habit Hole Pod, I'll be picking one lucky listener each week to win Starbucks on me. Until next time, friend, may your coffee be strong and your to-do list be short.